Just so you all know what to expect, we're going to be going for a quarter-of-a-mile walk underground. We're going to be going through some tunnel sections and through some cavern sections. On the way through, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the local geology and the history of the lead mining here. We pop out at the top of the hill. It's about a quarter of a mile to walk back down the hill to the main site here. So it's about half an hour and a half a mile walk. But just be aware, it's quite cold underground. It's about 7 degrees centigrade. Okay,
7 degrees.
It's not freezing, but it is quite chilly underground.
7 degrees.
We kailangan niya yung kasi 7 degrees. Uneven indeed. There are puddles. You're almost certainly going to get.
Hindi winter.
Okay. You also need to mind your heads. There's loads of headroom in the cavern sections, but the caverns are linked by a series of tunnels. The headroom does drop down in the tunnel section, so you are going to have to mind your heads. Yeah, so it's a bit cold, mind your footing, mind your heads. Steps, yeah, that's the important thing, the steps down there. There are 100 steps in the cave, 175. There is some good news, 16 go down, 159 go up. So it is a bit of effort, it is a bit of a workout. They're not all in one lump, there's a 42, a 37 and an 80. The 37 and the 80 do come after the tour is finished, so you can take your time on the final 2 flights. What I would say to you is, if you're of average fitness and average mobility, you'll be okay. If you're not fancying it, you can see the Masson in the cinema in this building here. That's nice and easy, okay? So we're all alright with that. Base coverings are optional, and it's a one-way system. We've got tours going through every 10 minutes. So when you're in, you're in. There isn't enough room in the tunnel sections for two-way traffic. So you can't come the wrong way through the cave against an oncoming tour group, okay? So if you bail at the entrance here, that's fine. Once you've gone in and you've gone through the cavern a little bit, you do need to keep going, okay? Right, so who likes geology?
Yeah.
Yes, 1. That'll do. Right, so you come with me, the rest of you can clear off. So we're just going to go down here, do a little bit of geology, and then we're going to go underground. Geology, earth. Yeah.
Let's go to the... Ay, akala ko yan ang entrance. Naku, doon pa naman nakafocus ang... It's not. Akala ko dyan, nakafocus kaya ito.
Ay, haba na sila nung araw, wala yung butas lang. Okay, right. So what I've got here is a lump of lead. This is what it was all about. The cave here used to be a lead mine. So this is a big lump of lead ore. The limestone rock here was very rich in lead. This is what the miners were after. It's also known as lead sulfide. And as you can see, it's a crystalline structure. It's a crystalline mineral. Okay. This is what the miners were after, lead ore, lead sulfide. The reason they're after this is because when this has been processed, it becomes a very soft and very malleable metal, quite useful for making things out of. It was particularly useful as a general building material. For example, when this has been processed, the lead is so soft it can be hammered or rolled out into big flat sheets. And big flat sheets of lead are really useful for roofing.
Wow, manusok takot.
But back in the old days, churches,
I don't know.
It
was dress gold.
Valleys and gutters with it. You can make pipes out of it. You could put a big window together with lead. Back in the days before large sheets of plate glass, you only make a really good window.
But we are going inside.
We've all seen leaded-like windows in the old buildings. So that's what they're after. So, who put a hand up to geology? It was you, wasn't it? You probably already know this, but for the benefit of everybody else, should we explain how this got into the rock? Yeah? The rock here is limestone. And limestone is what's known as a sedimentary rock. It's rock that is made of silts and sediments, compressed and compacted silt and sediment. Now we've got to go back, way back in time to the Carboniferous period. This is about 330 to 350 million years ago. And back then, where we're now standing, was down on the equator. and it was at the bottom of a warm tropical ocean, which was full of marine life, coral reefs, sea creatures, shellfish, all sorts of plants and animals. When those plants and animals died,
Ang ganda ng ano. Ayun, yun palang
and
nag-20
layer
degrees.
upon layer of coral debris and shell debris built up on the seabed. If we look at the rock here, we can see there are lines in it. There are layers in the rock. There's all sorts of banding. They're all different layers of silt and sediment, coral debris, shell debris. The weight, the pressure of the ocean, gradually compressed all that material into this limestone rock. Limestone rock quite literally squashed marine life. If you break this up, you find fossils in there, marine fossils,
Bed.
coral, shell, that
Water
sort
bed,
of thing.
seabed talaga.
So how did it get here then? I thought you were going to say plate tectonics.
Ayan, mga tectonic.
Continental drift, fascinating subject. Over a huge period of time, this landmass moved northwards, made its way to eventually what would become Europe, which of course is where we are now. On the way, cracks opened up in the rock. They're called fault lines. We're stood in one of those cracks, one of those fault lines right now. It goes through the hill here to Bonsall, about 3 miles that way. The cave entrance is cut through that crack in the rock. It goes deep beneath us. It goes across the Derwent Valley, through High Tor and off to Chesterfield. Huge crack in the rock. The layers there don't match on that side. And that's because this side has gone up and that side has gone down. And we're stood in the crack between the two. There's about a 70-foot difference in those layers of sediment. Okay? Cracks like this, places like this are where the minerals got in. Hydrothermal activity deep underground forced hot mineral-rich liquids up into the cracks and the voids and the fissures in the rock. And over time, the crystals grew, the minerals grew. They crystallised out of that mineral-rich liquid that got into the rock. So long story short, the rock is squashed marine life, and the lead is a crystal that was growing in the rock. And got there in liquid form. Any questions? Of course not. Right, so we're going to go underground. I'm just going to drop this off with somebody and we'll get in the cave, okay? We're going to walk through a tunnel and then we're going to climb 4 steps. They're concrete steps. They are uneven height and depth, and I think there's a puddle on them.
Okay, let's go. We need to wear masks.
Kasi may
Let's wear it. He's wearing mask. Jane is wearing mask. And then
kasama ulo.
let's go into the tunnel. 2, 1, 2. Oo nga yung parang Gethsemane.
Walang flashlight?
Meron.
Just like to slide my shoulder.
Tama. 7. Oh, ito. Ito yung may kulay. It's revealing. Yes, sure. Ang ganda. Ay, naku.
Careful lang, careful. Mag-slide ka.
Paano maganda?
Okay ka lang dyan.
Oh, my dear.
Ate, saan ka nagalis na awal
Ayan nga nagalis. Ano siya? Ayan nga nagalis. Luckily.
Oo.
My gosh. We are here inside. Oh my dear. Ayan. Ano ko mag-picture dyan, blur? Ay, yes. Ang ganda ng kulay. Promise. Yes, dito sa video. Yeah, it's revealing. Brrrr, that's sharp. Buti ka pa. Wow. Ito yung mga kulay nila. Naku po. Hindi ka pala pwedeng magtambay dito. Kaya buti na lang may video dito natin.
Oh, madilim mo. Yung video mo do? Wala, madilim.
Kaya nga, kakatakot naman ito. Ano ba yan? Hindi mo makita.
Akala ko yung step na sinasabi niya talaga step.
Parang hindi naman ito step. Ooh. Dan, da, da. Dan, da, da.
Sabihin mo sa video mo, we're inside in the cave.
Yes, we're inside in the cave.
Para malaman,
We're inside the cave.
we're inside in the cave. Mabuti na lang at nakarabay shoes. Hello. Inside. We're inside the cave.
You're going up. Ay, ito na yung paakyat.
Ito na yung pinakount na 100.
Mas okay ito.
Can you count it? I don't know. I have no time to count. Nagutom na naman ako.
Buti na lang iniwan natin yung mga bitbit.
Oo nga. Oo, gutom na po. Ay, ubos. Dito siguro yung mga film niya.
Quick. Aray ko. Hinihingal talaga. Bakit dinudog din tayo pag siya malam mo?
Ipasago mo adi. Para ikaw din.
Oo nga, ano? Aray ko. Tama ka. Okay. We're inside the cave. Whew.
Sabi, about an hour. Basta yung pagkain na.
Ayun. Wala yata.
Ano nangyari?
Yun din.
Gamitin mo flash
Ano pala ito? May pababa, pataas. Diyan natin si Kali. Si Kali?
Yes, that's me.
Nakakapagod din, ano? Yes? Saan ka, Sharon?
Ako, wala.
Dark ka dyan.
Sige.
Sige, Sharon.
Wave, Adita, video data.
Yes, that's Sharon. That is Letitia and the other one is... Yes.
Yeah, we're inside the cave.
Okay, let's move, let's move. I'm sorry.
Keep moving.
Up and down pala ito.
Ayan, we have steps here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Steps. Oh my God. Nakakahilo.
Hindi,
Okay, I think we're all just about here. So, some good news. We've done all 16 of the steps that go down. Yes. We've got another 37 and another 80 to go. Yeah. One direction, steps as well. Okay. Now on the way in, we came down a concrete slope and we got into a cavern section and there were some railings, weren't there? We weren't able to stop back there in that first cavern, but the first bit back there is known as Walker's Grove. And Walker's Grove is just one of dozens and dozens of separate lead mines that were working the hillside here. And there maybe would have been a dozen to 2 dozen people in each one of those separate groups. So there still would have been a good few hundred people mining the hillside here for lead. Walker's Grove is named after John Walker. He was a landowner and a farmer here, last half of the 17th century. The grove part of Walker's Grove is an old Anglo-Saxon word for a mine. And John Walker and his group, they were mining back there in the 1660s, 1670s and 1680s. It was a very specific period in the last half of the 17th century, and that was a really busy, very productive and also a hugely profitable time to be involved with lead mining. You can make a lot of money down here last half of the 17th century, and there was a reason for that. It's because something happened. There was an event in 1666. Who knows the history? What happened in 1666? Anyone?
The Great Fire. Blood.
What was that? The Battle of Bosworth. Actually, that's close. No, it wasn't. It was the Great Fire of London. 1666, London burnt down. And this had a huge impact on lead mining. You see, the old London was made out of timber and thatch. It was all combustible material. The buildings were very close together. When the fire took hold, particularly on a windy day, London burnt down all too readily. Now the new London, the rebuilt London, was going to be very different. It was going to be made out of brick and block stone. The roofs were going to be made out of tiles and slate. And the demand for lead, for roofing, for guttering, for pipes, for windows, it was huge. It was unprecedented. Anywhere in the country there was lead, they were going flat out to meet the demand. Within about a week of the Great Fire, the value of lead had quadrupled. By the end of the year, it had gone up 20-fold. Now, it was already profitable for the mine owner, or the landowner, but after the Great Fire, it was bonkers. It's like a licence to print money, and everybody had a share of that. You can make money down here. It's not to say it wasn't without its hazards or dangers, and it was certainly hard work, but you more than made a living at that time. Now, the teachers, the history books would have us believe that the Great Fire started in a bakery in Booking Lane. It's not true. It's a false narrative. We should be used to that, but shouldn't we? Actually.
Oh! Wow, wow, wow!
Ito pala nasa video.
Ay, sorry. Ito pala.
And then we are going to have to move on in a moment. So have a wander about, take pictures. Any questions, come and find me.
Okay, come, Geraldine.
If anybody wanted to move on, you just climb up the steps. Mind your head on that rock just there. That's it, you got it. It's the one we've got. Just watch out for that. Okay.
Picture ni Kasi para may solo-solo tayo.
Let's keep moving. Are you coming?
I'd like to move on up the steps.
Oh, these are steep ones.
Jenny, are you there? Yeah. Oh my goodness. We are going up.
42 lang. Samantalang di Lord is grown to the bagay mano 200. 105 mat ye ko. Cathedral. Uy may naka
Sometimes your hands are ready when you get outside.
So good on me.
It is, isn't it?
Or up here because going up.
Sorry guys, nasira ang escalator.
I think this is all the 159 or 150 steps.
87 or something.
nauna sa atin.
That's what happens when you do it. Oh, my hands are freezing. Yeah, but I like this one. Like you can't feel it. Ah!
Ay, salamat nakarating din sa
Ayun na yun.
way.
Your way out.
Yes, kung may liwanag, yun na.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Whoa.
Here we are at the top. There's Jenny.
You have the best.
Ayan na.
Enjoy, girl.
So, aray. We are here now.
Parang nasa Gethsemane tayo.
But honestly, it was good. I liked it.
These two, I don't know how. You carrying the gap. He's used to it.
Hey, it's good for you.
Hi, Jenny.
He was trying to reduce weight, no? Actually, everybody is okay. They're all sweating.
Hi.
Hi guys.
Saan tayo?
We're in Heights of Abraham in Derbyshire, and we just been in the great what's that? Mason cave, and that's why we're a bit tired. And God bless. Anyway, hi guys, lovely here. We're going to go up somewhere there.
And who are those?
Oh,
Coming
that's-
behind us.
That's my friend coming. There you go. Ooh. Say hello, friends. Say hello.
Hi! Welcome to the... What is this?
Welcome to the Abraham Heights.
Okay, Heights of Abraham.
Yes. Heights of Abraham, whatever. Diyan pala yung...
Okay, dito na kami sa viewing point.
Diyan tayo, kaya lang may nauna sa atin eh.
Dito ang bababa natin.
Oh, diyan tayo sa baba, pero dito tayo magpapaview kasi yan ang spot nila.
Sa din ang alagyan natin pababa. Doon balik tayo.
Yeah. Dito tayo muna magpa-picture all of us. Sige, okay. Magpa-picture tayo sa kanila. Sige, halika na. Mama, tayo.